and welcome to the review. Here we have the Sovol SV06 PLUS. This is my beta machine that I've been testing for a little while now. So we have, right at the top here, you can see, it kind of looks like the standard SV06 filament hanger, but this one has an integrated bearing, so it rolls with the spool, that kind of thing. Also factory installed run out sensor, articulated as well, so it moves around. The upgraded larger diameter linear rods, and we have the captured lead screws with the bearings and the securing collets. The main board, that's the same as the original SV06. We have an upgraded power supply, and that one is running at 450 watts. And okay, moving on to the extruder and the hot end. Here we have what appears to be very similar construction to the original SV06. My beta machine, I think, basically uses the same unit, whereas the production version will be modified slightly, and hopefully it will make some nice improvements for everybody there. One difference that will carry over, obviously, is the high flow hot end. You can see that there. That has a longer style nozzle and will allow for higher flow rates and larger melting area of filament. So that'll be really cool. We have a similar, well, pretty much the same parts cooling fan here as the original, but it has a slightly angled duct. It works. I'm not 100% convinced with it, especially if you're going to do big cosplay stuff and like large armor sets. I probably would recommend upgrading it and changing it, but for everything else, it's been fantastic. It's been really very nice. So it's just kind of like for the bigger stuff that you might need something with a little more cooling power if you're kind of laying down big thick lines of filament and having large prints and that kind of thing. And you'll notice here I actually added that bolt because I think there was a slight issue with my specific unit, so you probably won't have that. So I think they have changed the bed slightly. The sheet, the magnetic sheet, I think has been improved on the production units, so that should be really cool. And other things that have changed on the bed, the original SV06 had 3 bearings. I think it was 2 on this side and 1 here. The Plus has 4 bearings, and again it is riding on the 10mm rods here, so it has 2 bearings, one set there and 1 set running on this rod here. And also what it has as well, which is a very good thing, it now has 8 standoffs, mounting points on the bed. So it has a grid of 4 in the center and then 1 in each corner. And we'll just turn it on, and we'll come across the other thing that I'm not overly keen on, I must admit. It's the constant on PSU fan, which is by far the loudest thing on the entire printer, basically. On the Plus, I was kind of hoping it might have been a little bit quieter. But yes, you can see the touchscreen anyway. We'll move on to that. So it has very nice functions, reminiscent of the SV01 Pro kind of setup. Have all the movement controls. So we get, yeah, there we go, that's a bit better. All this kind of thing, and all these settings and stuff in here. And what we can do is we can just quickly home the printer so you can hear it as it drives itself. There we go, and that's homed, and I think hopefully you will agree at least it sounds quieter than the original SV06 with the smaller rods and smaller bearings. So that's a nice improvement there. Okay, we move on to prints. I've moved the extruder up out of the way for this one. We have a fair variety of prints. You know, it's kind of very technically difficult and extremely kind of beautiful at the same time. And then we have a couple of different things here. We have obviously a bust of the Predator, just really great detail, lovely form. And what I did as well, I have a modified SV01 Pro as well with a different extruder and hot end, and that did a very good job as well. Absolutely very comparable, but you know, it's definitely not a stock machine, whereas the SV06 Plus did that basically out of the box. So that kind of tells you all you want to know, really, doesn't it? Now on to the largest print I've done on this machine. As you can see, it looks fantastic. Really nice print. I mean, if you were going to do a lot of these, I would recommend popping on a 0.6mm nozzle and possibly upgrading the cooling system to maybe a single 50-15 fan unit, or maybe even a double. Okay, we're just going to check the operational space needed for the machine here. So that would be a safe bet there. We'll go across. So we're looking at an easy 550. And then the machine height is around 560. And then plus maybe 350 for the spool. So yeah, around about 850, 900. And then what we're going to do is check the depth. The machine is pushed back as far as I would want it to be in its working space. The cable is just touching the wall when the bed is all the way back. So we are at just over 600. So to wrap it up, the SV06 Plus. Should you buy one? Is it any good? I would say yes. And yes, definitely. I really like it. Even the Beta machine that I have here, it's a little way off the production model that you'll be able to buy. And that machine should be an improvement over this one. And if that is the case, I would be definitely throwing some money at Sovol for one of these. But yes, now here comes the point where you have to address the elephant in the room, and that is the issues the original model has had. And I think those issues, it was a bit of a shame. It kind of marred the original one a little bit. Myself and a few other people have gone out of our way to try and help the users, the owners of the original model that have been afflicted with the issues. A lot of them have been cured, some of them have not, unfortunately. But this machine, as a standalone unit that is kind of closely related to its sibling, I think it's really nice. I think it's a really great machine, and it's proven to me that it can do all sorts of printing, and with no modification. It's literally the machine out of the box. Obviously, I have not seen the production machine myself. I've been told about it, and it sounds very promising indeed. With the changes that they've made to improve the quality, I can definitely recommend this as a larger scale printer. There are a couple of things I'm not overly too keen on. They're not deal breakers, however. Firstly, it's the stock fan and the duct. It's not quite up to the larger stuff, as I mentioned. You know, it can do it, but it's a little bit of a struggle. If you do it occasionally, it's fine as it is. It's great as it is. For the smaller stuff and the regular things, perfect. Not a worry, really. And the other thing, of course, is just the noise factor of the constant on PSU fan. One thing I would say, it's kind of a shame that it's not a Meanwell unit. It would have been the cherry on top, I think, But yeah, I think they've done an amazing job. If they can hold up their end and QC does a good job of getting them out of the factory in a good condition, I think this is an absolutely amazing machine and should be in anyone's print farm, or even if you just have one machine and this is it, basically. it's the one to go for, I would say. I'm very impressed with it.